Hey everyone, and welcome to a great edition of Kitten's Corner. We are actually gonna put together the reborn that I started with the Gabrielle kit from Regina Swialkowski. I'm pretty sure I'm messing her name up completely, but we are going to put her together. I'm very excited because she has been a wild process, and it has been uphill trying to actually get her together. So the first thing we're gonna do is finish her off because I wanted to show you how I varnished their fingernails and toes real quick. So I figured I might as well start with that. I start with a high gloss varnish. Put it where you can see it. It's a touch expensive, but it's well worth its weight in gold. One, because you will run this bottle will probably run you forever, and you only use a teeny tiny bit per doll because you only use a teeny tiny bit per doll, rather. So we're gonna take a little of this and put it in our little handy dandy thing. So we have a little pool of the varnish, and it's just like painting fingernails, but this will make your doll's fingers and toes shiny. And then I'll show you how I do their faces. Alrighty, here's her first foot, and you see she's tipped. Let me see if I can get her up close. Oh wow. Okay, you see her tips, and we take a little bit of the varnish, and we do each toe nail. Doop 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 doop. There you go. You see how shiny they are now? And when that dries, she'll have a shiny coat on her toenails. Place that down. And we'll do that 10 more times. Well, 15 more times. Each toenail, each fingernail. There we go. Okay. I kind of forgot how very little we use, so I poured a lot in the well. And I'm kind of like gonna beat myself up because you can't put it back in the well because it's kind of considered contaminated. I put too much on that one. Dab it dry. We don't want her whole finger shiny, we just want her nails shiny. So, we're painting nails early in the morning. Hope you guys are doing great this morning. I have been working on this doll for the last couple of weeks, on top of working, of course. So I haven't just continuously worked on her, but I really wanted to get her done, and I wanted to get her put together on cam because this is a new experience for me. I've never done this type of putting a doll together with. Literally have to use a needle and thread. So I figured, why not do the whole process on cam? Just hang out with you guys for a little bit. All right. Now we're gonna do her face. And if you look on your eyes, we'll start with that. You have a little bit of moisture right on the bottom of your eye. So we will create that effect on her. It just gives her eye the illusion of moisture. And we'll do a little bit on the top, on the side, where little tear ducts would be if she was real. And we'll do the same thing with her lips. So she has nice, moist lips. They say kissably soft. Boop, boop. There you go. Now we have to allow all of that to dry. But that is step one of like final touches. And as you can see, her hair is rooted very nicely. And and that step did not take too long. So the first thing you really need to do is clean your brush, or you're gonna lose your brush because the acrylic actually is kind of hard. Gets hard, rather. So it's nice and shiny, but it gets hard too. So everything that we've used and don't need anymore, I'm going to move over. And unfortunately, like I said, I pretty much put way too much varnish in there. So we're going to dry out our well because we don't need it to harden with the varnish in there. So bear with me a moment as I clean out my paint well. And throw that away, and we will let the paint well dry. We've moved the varnish. All right, so what I've done, I've moved myself from my bedroom. So my bedroom is not my office right now, and because it's more space and I can be comfy while I'm doing this with you. The next thing we're going to do is fill her limbs with glass beads. Yay! So I took the liberty of buying glass beads for her and her going to be sis. And I've already lost the scissors. Okay, so I have 10 pounds of glass beads. I'm not going to use 10 pounds on her. I'm going to attempt 4 pounds on her. But that might be a little too much too. So we'll see how it goes. I'll see how she feels when I'm holding her. We have our little handy dandy teeny tiny scissors. We're going to clip a hole in the glass beads. What I do with my glass beads to make it a little easier on myself is I leave them. Bountiful Baby packs them. This is a pound of beads. And Bountiful Baby packs them in these very nice little separate containers. So instead of having to scoop them out at first, of course, eventually, if you don't use it all, you will. I just put it in here. No, leave them in here, rather. No, so we have our little legum. And though it looks wet, the varnish is pretty much dry. It will take about maybe another 20 or 30 minutes where it would be what you would call touchably dry, but for the most part right now it's already dry where you can't really mess it up. So we're gonna pour these beads in there. Pour, 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 pour. And give it a little shake. We've only used a half a pound. And we do a little pop pop because we want to fill all of this with beads. Stuff in there, and then it is sitting about right there. Our goal is to get it almost to her knee. So I think she will take a pound in each leg because she's got some hams on her. Yep, that's 1 pound. So we throw that in our little trash can, and we give her leg a little pat, fill the weight. Then we take our polyfill, which I have in massive amounts, and we stuff the rest of her leg with it. Open it up and get the stuff in. This is going to keep your little one from spilling glass beads all over herself because she's going to have the polyfill blocking it. Just kind of simple concept on that. She has a specialized body. And I'm going to show you in just a second. Let me stuff this leg up really nice because we don't want glass beads rolling around in there, seriously. So we use a lot of stuffing, which is going to actually add more weight on her. So those two concepts you have to keep in mind. The heavier you want them, the more glass beads you're going to add. But be aware that the polyfill is also going to give it an added ounce of weight as well. So keep that in mind if you're not trying to make a heavy, heavy, heavy baby. All right, this is her body. This is a specialized body that actually came with her kit. So I'm going to show you the inside. It's got little hooks and wires and stuff, which basically means that she's movable. We know that the back of it is where the string is. She has a little rump on here, so you want to make sure her little rump is actually in the back. Okay, and we're going to turn the body around and put her little ham hock onto the thing. Da-da-da. We give the strings a little tug. I usually switch them out to the zip ties, but since this is a new body, I'm gonna see how well it is made, and if in the process her leg slips out or something, then we'll switch. Take the time to change them out. Right now, that looks like that's gonna do really nicely. I'm wondering, should I put a little stuffing in there, but we won't. We won't put any stuffing in there. I'm thinking that's not supposed to have stuffing. So we tie it in a knot, and later on we will clip it. But that's one little ham hock. And we will repeat the process again with another pound of beads. And hopefully I didn't hide my scissors from myself. I did. Okay. So that's probably the downside of doing it live, is that you do kind of make mistakes. And hiding the scissors from myself is definitely a mistake. Really? I know I didn't put it over there. Well, now. Intermission while I find the scissors. I found them. Yay! Okay, so now we will put them this time where I won't lose them again. So we shake the thing, and since we already know that it will take the whole pound, and it stopped for point of reference. It stopped right below her knee, which is exactly kind of where I wanted it. And now she has this leg full of ham, so we'll just fill this up. We don't have to measure it because we know it's going to land right where we need it. So we can just kind of cheat. We don't have to do that middle step where I patted it to kind of get it to go down so we can get a good measurement. So we can throw that one in the trash can. And then we can just burp the leg. Pop, pop, pop. What you want is it to fit in all those little toes and stuff, because when you get her dressed, this ensures that her foot doesn't give while you're putting her socks and shoes on and all that good stuff. And if you ever got a doll where you had to struggle to put the socks and shoes on, that's pretty freaking frustrating. Okay, so we stuff this all up. Stuffity stuff, stuff, stuff. Shaky, shaky, and stuff some more. Make sure you push down really good so that you get a good grip on her. And let's see, squish them little hams. All right, pretty good. Wait, now we're gonna make sure that they feel the same. This one actually feels heavier, so we will give it more polyfill. You don't want her not balanced. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not totally symmetrical anyway, but you want her kind of even so that she's not flopping around. Okay, so we got this on, and we are going to shove her little leg in the little spot. I kind of like the bodies because it has a hardwood thing there, so you're not fighting to wrap that cloth thing around there. It's already kind of preset. You just have to slip it in there. And I'm in the habit of dressing the dolls while I put them together. So I got her these cute little sockums with little, I think those are puppy dogs. Little puppy dogs on them. So we'll go ahead and protect our investment and put socks on her feet. Let me make sure that the varnish is dry enough where to the touch, because we don't want to have her having sticky socks. So we need to make sure that that's the case. So now she has two little feet in her two little socks. We're going to actually sit her here so you can see. Let me put it down a little bit. And what we're going to do now is put some polyfill till we get her rump pronounced. That's the discreet way to put it. We need enough polyfill in there so that her rump is fully covered. And the reason we want to do that is so that when I do the glass weighted beads on the inside of her, and you go to change her or you go to snuggle with her, you're not feeling them because it's not going to feel right. Although she's a doll. You do understand she's a doll, but you do kind of want to have a little bit of what we call realism in there. So now that we've stuffed her enough so that her whole bottom part is kind of more polyfilled than anything, we take some stockings, which of course you can buy anywhere. Um, in this case, I did not get the knee highs. I got just regular stockings. So we take our handy dandy scissors and we're going to clip, clip, clip. I would recommend knee highs, but sake of I already purchased these instead. We're going to use these. When you clip it, you open it up, and what I do so that you get a double layer is I kind of fold it around. But these seem pretty workable. We're going to take another pound of glass beads and we're going to fill this little stocking. So as you can see, we're really running through the glass beads kind of quickly. So, now, the easiest way to do it is to put the whole bag in the stocking and give it a shake. So we'll still not put it over the bed just in case. It's not. We don't want to have glass beads in the bed. But as you can see, it's not. It's actually filling up so nicely. Nice. Take our time. So we're not in a hurry. And da-da-da. Put it down because it's getting heavy. And of course, the stocking is stretching, so we don't want to compromise the stocking. There. All right. That's the third pound. So we give that a good tie. And because some mothers that buy your dolls are also reborn artists, you have to keep in mind that they might actually go in. So you need to make sure that's really secure. So that if they do go in, they're not getting glass beads all over or their workstations or what have you. It's common courtesy. You want to, and then if they go in, you want to have a quality presentation for them, so they're not, oh, look what they put in them. I've seen videos where the reborn mommy, who is also an artist, went in to make the doll heavier or make the doll lighter, and was like, I don't believe this is what's in there. So, be professional and put the right things in there, and we're gonna stuff her up a little bit more. And I'm just realizing I do not have her a diaper. So we will continue to stuffity stuff. And then we will fill the glass beads on the sides here. So since I feel the glass beads, I feel it right there. We're going to stuff down in there. I can actually see the bag it's in, so the stocking. Push the polyfill in front of it. And now she looks odd. Okay. Looks like she's got a bulge on. Alright. I am debating the other palm. I'm thinking she's gonna be too heavy. So this is a call I'm gonna make. I'm just gonna give her one. Just simply because her thing is kind of wide and it's gonna take a lot of poly fill, which you have to, like I said, keep in mind is extra weight. You don't want her extremely heavy. Let's see. Ah, she's like a football. Yay. Okay, guys. I'm going to. I'm trying to debate. I can always add a pamper later. Okay, so we'll just keep it pushing. I didn't grab it. Forgot about it. So we'll just keep it pushing. And what we have to do on this part, this is exactly where we're going to actually put her smell good on her way home. So, because of the kind of kid she is, we need to make sure that she has an actual shoulder. She's actually stuffed to the rim. Stuffy stuff, stuffity stuff. And I keep stuffing it away until we get a distinct shoulder. And this will make sense to you in about 20 minutes, 10 minutes or so. All right. So now we got her good and stuffed. Good and stuffed. We literally are just going to. You know what? I'm going to leave it open. I was going to say tie it off, but I want to see how it looks first. Okay, our next step is her arms, of course. With her arms, we're going to do something a little bit different. But, okay, first we're going to put these pants on her. But, aren't these adorable? I am going to go back and put Pampers on her. Not Pampers, but some form of diaper. Not necessarily Pampers. It might be Pampers. Because, she's a baby. She's supposed to be 9 months, so she would still be wearing diapers. She looks like she's a size 4. Um, if not, I'll see if she can actually fit a smaller pull-up, because pull-ups are cute. They have have cuter designs. Okay, we got our pants on. She got some pants on. She can't talk yet, guys. She doesn't have a head. So she just would, you know. Alright. Found her some boots. Boopity boops. And the outfit will come together when she has her top portion on. But these boots are adorable. So we will. And I would have rather gotten a few of them, but this literally was the last pair at the store. So grab them as quickly as I could. Okay, there she goes. Da, 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 da. All right, little miss is coming together because her legs are in the little twisted thing. She sits really, really well. So she's going to sit there and finish getting built. For her arms, shake our beads. And I know good and doggone well I didn't lose the scissors. Okay, we'll put her right there for a second. All right, I found the scissors again. And like I said, we made an executive decision not to put that extra bag of beads in her. So, clippity clip. And we do not need to lose the scissors because we will be using them again quite frequently. We do the same thing with her arms. And her nails, of course, are already nice and dry. That's awesome. We're going to take, now this hole's a little bit smaller, but we're going to do the same concept we did with the legs. I'm going to pour it in. Pour, 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 pour. Pour, 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 pour. All right. We are not trying to put this whole bag in there. What we are trying to do is get it kind of up to her shoulder as well. And we'll do the burpee burp. But you got to remember her arms are smaller than her legs. So we're not trying to use this whole bag. We're already almost there, and we have a lot of glass beads left. Now, this type of doll, we are gonna have to clean the bed. But with this type of doll, we are not attempting to weight her head because she should be able to sit up on her own. So we do not have to do the my head's too heavy for me to hold effect on her. Um, and also she has mechanics stuff going on her head, which I'll show you in a little bit. So we do not want to have glass beads going on top of all of that. I'm making this face because this is like some science stuff. We measure. Shh, don't worry. All right. I'm really thinking it's gonna take a little more than a pound, a little more than half this pound, more than half a pound rather. It's interesting, so we might really have to open another bag. Now, it's okay if I open bags because I have a whole container of glass beads that X for excess glass beads. And that'll just join that. And that way, when I have a doll, I don't have to go buy more glass beads. I'll use the excess. If it's a baby doll, if it's a baby, little or smaller doll, and then if I need more, I'll get more. But usually, I bought it in bulk, so I actually bought 10 pounds of beads, and that usually lasts me about 3 to 4 dolls. So the first two get the privy of brand new bags. The next two get like excess glass beads, and I have a little funnel. We take our handy dandy funnel and fill up the thing. We same concept also as that we did with the legs. You want to make sure that you are stuffing it so that it's not giving. All right, there we go. And we will go on ahead and do it again. And guys, we get to do this all over again with the next doll, probably in about basing it on how long it took me to do this one, probably in about 3 weeks, I guess. This is technically not even an off day. My only off day this week was yesterday, and I took the time to go on ahead and get her rooted. So I literally spent all yesterday rooting her hair. Um, the whole process took about 12 hours because I had already 4 invested in there. She has rooted eyelashes. She has rooted hair. I'm still debating on her eyebrow. I might just do a very thin single layer of eyebrows going down, but I want to do it with real hair. My intent is not to paint her eyebrows. We have this much beads left, so we're going to put this on our stand of products we don't need anymore. And we're going to stuff this. So I am actually clearing the bed as I'm putting her together. So trying to be organized here. Stuffity stuff. We get her nice and stuffed up. Her hair is already glued in, as I think I probably said, but I'm explaining the process. So the only thing left to do for her head is to put a little bit of stuffing in there so that everything is kind of packed down in there. She also has her magnet, so she is for her pacifier. So she's sitting over there holding her pacifier in her mouth. Um, the pacifiers I got actually had the magnet already in there. It's kind of a cheat, but I'm starting to think that those magnets aren't as strong as the ones I get. So if every time I bump her, her passy comes out of her mouth. So I like to say she's spitting it out because that's what it feels like. She's spitting it out. All right. Normally, at this point, now that she has her little arms on, I would go ahead and get her dressed, but we can't because this little baby has an extra feature that I'm about to show you. So as we figure out what's going on with this toy. All right. Okay. And for those who didn't know, I decided on Allison for her name. I was thinking about Allison Marie, but it kind of didn't stick with me, so we'll think of another middle name. Okay, so now if you see her arms, actually they are you would say ball jointed or what have you, which means she can have her hand way up here, like she's raising her hand. So she can have her hands like this, so like she's laying her head on her hand, or she can put them to her side. And I actually have this on backwards. Oh my goodness. And because I got to put a diaper on her, we are not going to stress about that right now because she's going to have to get changed anyway for a photo shoot or what have you. So we're going to put her down a second so I can explain her head. Okay. All right. We're going to get a little close up on her. These are her eyes. You can see her eyelashes. And I have her hair pulled back. What I am going to do is brush all her hair. I'll show you it down once I get her together. When I do her detail video, rather, we'll just leave it up for now. This is a work section, and so she need her hair up. You can see how her lips turned out, though, and her eyes. So it's like pretty cute and lovable. And if I can, she spit that pacifier out during me, and I don't see it, so I think she hit it on us. All right, I do not see her pacifier again. So when I find it, I will show you how it really should have been with her. Bummer. All right, I honestly don't see her pacifier again. Okay, so now this doll is actually her top part is two parts. I really kind of was looking for a pacifier. All right, so we can put the stockings away so it can be neat. All right. So the reason I say it's two parts because she actually has a chest plate. So I'm going to try to, so YouTube doesn't have a heart attack, be discreet as I can about it. But just so you know, it does have upper torso girly parts, but you just set the chest. Her head is going to sit like this, and when we are successful, I'm not going to say if, but when we are successfully putting her together, her head will, of course, be able to look up, down, and all this kind of thing. So she is going to be superposable. And the key to her superposableness is this little package. I bought this. It's a little hook, of course, crochet hook. My mom actually came up with that idea. So kudos to mom. All these mechanisms have to go inside of her. But before we do that, we can take the liberty of go ahead and stuff her. Little, give her head some so that it's not doing this. So we will get the stuffing. Stuff some more. I'm spending my life stuffing. And because her little head is preset and small, the hole is small, and the hole has to be small, so we absolutely can't open her up and get the stuff in the end. And usually that's like the easiest part because it's as wide as her limbs. But in this little girl's case, it's not. So we have to kind of work with her and get all that stuffing in her head in this little hole. Oh my God. You just do not know how hard this is. Now, the next step would be to get that piece in there. So you get to see me struggle because I got to get that piece in there without making the hole bigger. All right, let's see how we're coming. We're not there. Her head is still squishy, and we don't want it squishy. It's not that we want her head super hard, but we do want it where if you press on it, it's not giving. We have to be. We can kind of be generous because the stuffing actually worked as a anchor on her hair as well. Also, her pacifier. So we need to make sure we get cotton down in her cheekbones and stuff, and in the back of her head. I think 2 more times should do it, and never rush a project because rushing causes mistakes, and mistakes means you have to do things over, which is why I was looking for a pacifier to ensure that I didn't move it. Oh, I'm really gonna have to find her pacifier because once I get all these gadgets in, it's gonna be the Dickens trying to take her apart to fix anything on her face. So little mama's gotta have everything kind of right. Yeah, one more is gonna be great. But Cat is going to take time out to look for her pacifier so that I can slap it in her mouth and make sure that her thing is going to, or what you call it, is in place. I really don't see it. I have a strong feeling it fell out of the bed, rolled out of the bed where she was sitting. Bummer. That's really a bummer, guys. So we're going to do the next best thing. I have another pacifier. I have another magnet, rather. So we're going to cheat and see if it sticks. Okay, if that was her pacifier, it would be on her mouth, right? So it didn't move. So that's a yay. And then we'll figure out where her pacifier went later. So I don't have to move. Yay. Okay, we're going to give her a little bit more stuffing. And I bought a whole bag really for one doll, and I don't need it. So that's awesome as well. And find my hook. Handy dandy hook. Did I throw it in here? Oh, sorry, guys. I found a pacifier. Yay. Okay, we'll finish stuffing her first, though. I hid it for myself. Okay, the other thing is you have to keep in mind we don't want her so stuffed in her head we can't get our little part in. So that's another thing to be aware of. And we don't want to not be able to get it in there comfortably. Also, I saw an artist was like, because when you put it in there to get lost in there, well, if you put the stuffing in there, it won't get lost in there because it's going to rest right on top of the stuffing. So that's problem solved. So we'll avoid losing the attachments in there. Okay, that should be good. Cheeky cheeks. We want them to have a little gill. People like to squeeze cheeks. Okay, so see her hair? Her hair is a representation of how frustrating this is. So that's kind of cool. So here's her pacifier and voila. Now she's holding her pacifier. Yay. So because we know she's going to spit it back out, we're going to just move it and put it over there so we know where it is. The next thing is the first part. All of this has to go in her head. So drums, please. Like we are literally. To be honest, I kind of been watching videos galore, and this was a step most of the artists have skipped. Like they had already done it, so my using them as an example was not going to work. I don't see how. Really don't see how. The little metal piece slips right in. And I kind of thought the metal piece went in by itself. And then this piece sat on the outside, but of course that's not the case. The whole thing has to go in. So it's supposed to look like that, but with this in there. So we're going to try to slide this in there real quick. Mom came up with a great idea also of hooking it on before we get started so that we don't lose the metal piece. Okay, but the downside of that is now we can't get it in there. Alright, so round 2 fight. And there's no way of cheating. You have to actually work it in here. And it is the littlest hole in my life. My life, guys, my life. I really don't see how you get this in here. But you got to get that piece in there. Let's see if it'll force itself in there. This is the opposite of giving birth. Is what it feels like. How did it? And the lady that did it, she like popped that bad boy right on in there. Let's see something. No, that can't be right. It's gotta go in here. Maybe that's why she didn't put the stuffing in there. Because it is not going. Well, we hit roadblock number 1, didn't we? But as you know, we don't give up on things that easy. How? Like seriously, how? Because it just seems like it rests better right on the outside. But it's not. It's supposed to be vinyl on vinyl. You know what? I am going to cheat. And you're my witness if I screw it up. But I think the outer thinner plastic can go away. So we're going to open her up a little more. And if I mess up, you're my witness that I did. Okay. Now that I got a little more space, let's try that again. Where's your little piece? I think that is just blocking it. Oh, guys, I got it in there. Yes. Okay, so now I got it in there. That's how it's supposed to look. So the part that was so hard to get in there actually rests right there. Okay, yay, we got that done. Now we got her chest plate. And we have to do a little surgery because they actually have excess piece on there. And I'm assuming it's so that you can paint it better or so that it holds its shape. I haven't decided which one I think is the answer. But we got our X-Acto knife. It is extremely sharp. 1, because I just bought it, and 2, because that's the point. And we are going to cut this vinyl again live on cam. So if I mess up, you're my witnesses. You have to be extremely careful because this vinyl is extremely soft. So no rushing. Rushing is never good. We just need to make sure that we are freeing this up. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you cut the inside as long as you don't cut her actual chest plate. Because that would be bad. Yep. And we have to be, you see how fast it's sliding, so we need to make sure that we are gentle. Very gentle with it. Because we don't want to mess up her chest plate. Which I spent hours painting. So that part too. And we are not there. Okay, we are almost there. Alright. It's perfect music for cutting chest plate, by the way. I got it on. It's supposed to be like soothing, put it on for your baby. And actually the video I found out, I kind of was like reading the description. It gets darker as it plays. So hope it's supposed to be like slowly, how you drift to sleep. So that's kind of cute. So now we have Miss Chest Plate cut out. We are in business. As soon as I get this little last piece, no rushing, no hurry. Now, the artist that first showed how to do it was like take this extra vinyl and like when you're testing colors and stuff like that, you got a piece of vinyl, you paint on there, heat set it, and see how it comes out. We're going to take the time to put the cover on here. Ta-da. And it goes on the table of stuff we don't need anymore. I put stuff in there to kind of hold its shape a little bit. Now we get to do the rest of the fun part. We're gonna take the other piece, and unlike the head, we don't have to fight a war. We just gonna stick it right in there and line the holes up, of course. And it has this other piece. It has a lot of pieces, doesn't it? It's a little pipe that goes in here. So it sits. Let me see if I can show you. It sits right there. The nice, sweet British lady was really good, and she was like, "Do this, do this, do this." But saw another artist, thankfully yesterday, that was like, what she does is string the hook itself through. So drop that in there like that, and then stick it in here like this. Now, that to me just made a whole lot more sense than doing it in two steps. Now, we get to take her head, da, 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 and take our hook, as you can see right here. Oops. If we can get it in there. All right. Okay, it did not work. Oh my god. So, and what I'm dreading, guys, is the other one looks a little even more harder. She has the same hook and ladder thing going on. That is not working. Okay, so my first lady's fired because that did not work. But anyway, she has the same hook system, but the way you hook her chest plate to her body is different. Okay, so now we'll do it like that. So we're trying not to get YouTube mad at us, but as you can see, her head is now on there. So we're gonna hang her upside down. I'll hang her upside down backwards, so YouTube won't have a fit. We're gonna still put our pipe through our thing, and we're going to hook the string on there and let our pipe drop down. I hope. Let our pipe drop down. And now we're going to pull like the Dickens, and it unhooked. Okay, come on. Okay, wait for me. I tried it before. Pull, 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 and we latch. And I know you heard it click. All right. So, and then for added strength, we're going to actually push it down a little bit. Ta-da! So the hook is done. So we'll put the hook on the table. And Allison now has a head in her chest plate. So, hold on. Hey, Allie, your head ain't moving. Okay. All right. It's kind of stiff, but yeah, it's working. Okay, so now Allison has her chest plate on. Okay, now for the quote unquote fun part, putting her chest plate on her body. Because life. So I took the time to buy something to poke holes with that would make sense to me. I'm not really sure what the other lady used. We keep our scissors. We need the scissors still. We're not going to use those. And we are going to use a hook needle, and flesh tone thread. And that will make sense in just a moment. So we take our tool, and if you look on her chest plate, I'm going to put it on the back part so I can go up close without. There's little holes, or going to be potential holes. And there are 8 of them in total. So we're literally going to punch out each hole. I would suggest going ahead and doing them all so you don't have to come back to that step. I saw her do them as she was. I saw her do the holes as she was. I'm sorry, guys. As she was going along. And to be honest, if the needle's sharp enough, this is kind of a mute step. Because it'll push through vinyl just fine. But we will make some pre-holes in this vinyl. Alright, Miss Lady, you have all your holes punched. And to be honest, I wish the other kit was going to be that simple, like cut and dry. It's not easy, but it's cut and dry as far as you know what the heck you're doing. Alright, so we're going to take Miss Allison backwards, of course, due to discreetness. Now we're going to sit her here. Oh, turn her around. Turn her body around so that she's backwards. And this sits here. So what we have to do is, that's the reason I didn't close it. We need to stuff her a little more so that her shoulder is up like that, so that she's not slumped over. And then all her inner things under there is going in there. So, good call for me not stuffing her. Not closing her off. We are going to close her off, but we need to get her sitting up just right so that she looks really good. Okay, so now her arms, see how her shoulders kind of lift up? That's what we need, because all of this is going to be closed off. And now we can close it off but we need it to sit up. We need her sitting up, rather. Okay, maybe a little more. We need a solid foundation, basically. Solid foundation. Shun. Alright, so I'm gonna do that. And then we'll close her up. Same concept with strings. Make sure all your stuffing is in there. I'm not going to close it completely because we actually have to get that headpiece down in there. The little wires and stuff. So we need opening a little bit. And then we are going to put her head on her shoulder. Put her shoulders and stuff on her body. And she sits just like that. Now for the fun part. We're going to sew her little torso thing onto her. So we'll sit her right here. Sit like a big girl. Alright, so because this is going to be more of a tedious task, we will do one. Then I'm going to hop offline and finish her up. And then I will bring her back for a detailed video. Probably if I might do it today if I literally took that needle out and lost it. Okay, there's a needle lost in my bed. Um, we'll be really careful about that. Anyway, I'm gonna do one on cam, and then I'm going to log off and finish her up off cam, and then I will do a detailed video of her with her done, and we will I'll show you how I brush out her hair to make sure that the loose ends, the ones that didn't glue on right, are out her head, so that her new parent isn't finding loose ends. But I wanted to show you real quick what I'm going to be doing for the next probably hour is this. Take our needle and thread, of course, and we're going to string it. Of course, the fun part. Of course, I totally missed. Because what I don't want to do is rush. And I have to make sure it's sitting there. Placed on her really good. Okay, so I think this will do her back nicely. And if not, of course, we can always get more. So we take our thread and cut it. And the scissors are not done because we have 8 holes to close. So what I'm going to do is grab a good movie, get the dog walked real quick, grab a good movie, and get to knitting on her and hopefully get her done today. All right, we got our needle tied off, and we're gonna start with her back plate so that y'all can see it. All right, so we hold her down, and what you want to do is you want to hold her down so that when you let her go, she's there. Now, the other lady used a straight needle. I'm using a hook needle, and that was my brilliant brainstorm, because if you use a hook needle, you're not lifting her up every single time, because the hook needle is going to do the work for you. Ta-da! I'm going to do that again. And it's going to push my sewing limits because I really don't sew. So, but you do take the take the needle and thread it through the first time and then pull it again. And figure out why it's not pulling through. Okay, that's weird. Did it tangle or something? It tangled, didn't it? Okay, that didn't work right because it tangled up on me. Okay. It tightened before I got it. Okay, so we'll hold this. And pull the string through. I'm holding the wrong string. Dang it. Like I said, I don't sew, so I'm probably doing this all kind of wrong. Alright, but got the one I need to have. I need to pull it through though first. Okay. My brilliant idea didn't work. Okay, now we tighten it. There we go. I knew it worked like that somehow. So it's tightened on there. And she is actually starting to be whole. So we're going to do that, like reinforce this needle and thread thing. And like I said, with the hook needle, you're not lifting her up every single time. Okay, loop-de-loop. We have a loop at the beginning, and we will put another loop at the end. And she should be on there really good. You need to make. I'm gonna do it probably 10 times or so, and you want to also try to aim for the same spot so you're not having her sewing look kind of messy. my OCD is not going to allow that. So I'm going to try to keep it kind of together. But you want to loop her enough time so that the string, because this is the only thing holding her on. So you have to keep that in mind, that this is the only thing that's going to keep her head. And the string broke. Well, that was unexpected. All right, so okay, that happened. So we're going to. Interesting. We're going to restring this and figure out. I hope I got a strong enough string. And I'm glad I found this out on the first one. So I may have to get more string. Better thread. So we're gonna loop it like that. And that might actually be a good thing. And tie her down. Tie, tie, tie. Tie again. Da, 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 da. Tie again. Tie again. Tie, tie, tie. Make a knot and pop it. Okay. Hmm. And our handy dandy scissors. Do a snippy snip. I might redo that, guys. I'm not feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, I don't want to have to it. But, let me see. I mean, it's really on there good. I don't want it to de-string, but I think it's basically where I want it to go. And ta-da. That's one. And we have to do that 7 more times. Alright, guys. Like I said, she has a chest plate, so we're going to be discreet. But, so we'll hold her little girly parts. All of this is going to press down. And of course, her back is going to be down. And she has two on her, one on each shoulder. And that's pretty much how you have to put her together. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was kind of fun putting her together with you. And after we get her all together again, and maybe today, it might be tomorrow, just depending on how long this last step is going to take me. And I do really need to get the dog up and at him, get him washed, not washed, get him walked, and then get back and wash my hands and stuff. And then, like I said, I'll probably get a good movie going and get her sewed on and get her shirt on and brush her hair out. That is the last step. I do that. Get a little water, take a good brush, and brush it not extremely rough, but with enough aggression that I am taking the strings that maybe didn't push through and didn't get enough glue on it to stay, because I would rather it come out on my end than come out on her owner's end. So that's a courtesy thing that I do, so to make sure that they're getting a great product. Um, if I redo that I'm sorry, if I redo that one little thing, I will let you know that I did, because I want to make sure she's really secure. And if the string is not going to work, it's not going to work. I do have more thread if it doesn't work, and but it's black, so I was kind of trying to make it as skin tone as I could. All right, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And we'll catch you next time on Kitten's Corner. In the meantime, be blessed, be safe, stay safe, guys. It's not over yet. And we will holler at you later.